specialist, and I work for the Department of Conservation and Recreation in their Soil and Water Conservation Division. The official definition of nutrient management in essence is a plan or a strategy for the use of substances which contain plant available nutrients at a rate which meets crop production without exposing surface or soil waters to excess nutrients. Some of the substances I've dealt with over the years, we first think of commercial fertilizer and animal manures, and in some cases biosolids. But I've also run into ashes from wood-fired boilers and whey, which is a byproduct of cheese production. We're standing in front here of a field of, it looks like grain corn, but it's actually going to be chopped for silage. Producer's going to come back with a cover crop, a small grain, and it looks like there's a brassica in here already, but I suspect it might be a weed or something left over from last year. Cover crops are essential to recovering excess nitrogen that might be left over from this corn crop. One of the pillars of nutrient management is putting the nutrient source down on the crop at the correct time. And this beautiful facility here allows the producer to capture manure during the season when the hayfield is dormant and is not able to use the nutrients that would be placed out. So here, in between feedings, the producer scrapes the manure into this part, which is usually referred to as the pit, which holds the manure until late winter or early spring, when they will put that out on the field that they choose. In this case, it's going to be this hayfield off to our west. This facility was built with the help of cost share dollars. Many cost share programs through the district require a nutrient management plan. And I will go through the benefits of having a nutrient management plan one by one as we stand here. One of the benefits is that it requires current soil sampling. It's very important that the producer knows what nutrients are currently in the soil. Another benefit is that it helps the producer prioritize which fields should get the nutrients. The nutrient management plan itself also relies heavily upon the soil type. And so one of the subjects that always comes up is which is the most productive soil. And the way farm prices are these days, there's usually not enough money to go around. And so finding out where to put the nutrients is probably job one. Another benefit of having a program is that a good planner sees a lot of different situations and can bring a new set of eyes onto the way a farmer manages the manure in the crop. Now, this manure eventually will go out on the hayfield. What is the rate that it needs to go out at, and what is the nutrient content of this? And these are two questions that will be answered with the development of the plan. The way the facility is set up here, and there are so many different permutations in how to set up one of these cattle feeding facilities. But the way he has it set up here, he can drive down the middle and feed the cattle in this concrete trough. And in between feedings, he can then scrape the manure down to the storage area for the manure, which we often call the pit. One of the important things in developing a nutrient management plan is understanding what the producer is doing, what their facilities and resources are. We saw that beautiful facility. Not everyone has the resources to build one like that. And if you look at this situation here, this is a very appropriate feed pad for the producer to work with and capture the manure and waste feed that could accumulate here throughout the winter months. If it's not, if it doesn't have a pad like this, often all you can recover is what you can scrape off the ground, and a lot of nutrients get tromped down into the ground and lost. This way, the grower can recover almost everything that the cattle would drop here. As you can see also, none of this is going to run off to the creek that's just down the hill here. So this is another approach to capturing nutrients, and I think they're pleased with the way it works. The nutrient management specialists throughout the Commonwealth have access to portable scales. This way we can weigh the spreader as it's, of course, an empty weight and then a full weight. And I like to take 3 separate measurements and use that average. Anytime we're dealing with manure, we're dealing with averages. And then what I do is I use this measuring wheel here to measure how far that load was spread in the field. And that, plus the manure analysis, lets us know how much of that particular nutrient was spread per acre. And this takes away the by gosh and by golly method that tends to predominate, where people think they put a certain amount out, but they're never sure. So what we're trying to do here is give the grower confidence in the numbers in terms of the nutrients he's putting down, so that he or she then can determine whether they need to put out as much commercial fertilizer as they had in the past. And often it's a budgetary issue, and so the manure going out plus the commercial fertilizer is sometimes all that field's going to need in that particular year. This particular field did not get any commercial fertilizer. What you see here, and this is late fall, what you see here is just from the manure going out.